Evening, everyone. It's 5:47 on Thursday evening, the 21st of July, and this is your closing comment. It's video number 1374, and I want to also tell you that when you get your daily note, you really ought to look at the short video I did on why I lightened up on the TLT and took a very small profit. And I'm going to start tonight with the gold. We bought Newmont Mining today. I bought some common stock, and we took a small position that I will definitely add to if we continue to follow through. This is the chart on the gold. As you can see, this is a 20-year chart. And as you can see how this acts when it's trending is pretty interesting. I mean, it gets into a trend. It started a bull trend here, let's say, at this breakout at 432.90 back in 2005, and it slowly worked its way higher, had one pullback here, but basically worked its way higher from 2005 right through 2011. The reason I mention that is because I think we may be establishing a new trend higher again, and the miners tend to outperform about 2.5 to 1 when gold is in a trend. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. So that's the long-term look. Let's go to a shorter-term look. This is the 7-year. As you can see, I drew a line here, right across these bottoms. 1676, 1671, 1673, 1675, and today, 1678. I bring this up. These are the monthlies. I'm going to show it to you on the weekly. And as you can see on the weekly, let's go to 3 years. These are the areas that we've bottomed in each and every time since the breakout back in 2020. The gold has not acted really well, and I think that part of that is because of the Fed, and frankly, stocks have been pretty attractive, and it feels like there's been some manipulation. I posted an article a couple of weeks ago about how JP Morgan has the biggest position in the derivatives, and they tend to be short. So that's where we are. In any event, today, let's go to a daily. Today, we had a new contract low, a low that hasn't been seen since August of 2021, and again in here in the period of March 21 and going all the way back here where we started of June 2020. So let's take a closer look. This is a new contract low. It is followed by a rally, a big rally, trading over yesterday's high and in fact closing there. This is the highest close in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 6 days, and I would call this a key reversal, and I expect even if we don't initiate a new trend, MACD is trying to roll to the upside. Volume was very big here, and we had a range of $41 today, closing pretty close to the high. Now you have to remember that The open outcry ends at about 2:30, and so this is all electronic from then on. At 2:30, we had not broken to a new recovery high, which we did after the open outcry, when we moved from the high of around 1715 up to 1717 and change. So I am very bullish on this, and we will see how it acts tomorrow. The oil was down 3.5 today. Bitcoin was down 465. The dollar was a little bit lower, and the bonds were up 1.75. And I want to show you the bonds because we're in that also, even though I lightened it by about a third in the small account and half in the big account. And that is that we finally closed above this recovery high. This was 140 and 11/30. We closed at 140, 140 and 11/30. Imagine that. It actually had traded, after the open outcry close, traded up to 140 and 27/30, which actually puts it above all of this. And we settled back at 40 and 11. The only reason, well, you can watch my video, but the only reason I lightened up here is because, number one, we were profitable. I don't like the fact that we rolled over in the MACD, something that this has been very accurate on. It rolled over here, a cascading move down. It rolled over again here, a move from 138 to 132, 131 and change in a matter of days. So I was a little concerned. I would maybe pay for direction on a pullback, but we're still in half the position and we are profitable. And then after the close, the TLT, which had a high of about 116.68, moved to another new high on the day of, let's see, 117.20, closing at 116.96, up 235 on the day, or 2%. So that's pretty impressive. Okay, stocks were higher again, up 162 in the Dow, up 162 in the NASDAQ. Of course, that's 2.5 times the percentage move. S&P up 1%, getting a little closer to that 40 and a quarter to 4100 that I was looking for. The Russell was up just 873, but it has been very strong the past couple of days, and the transports closed to the downside. Okay, one of the things that I want to mention here is that today we had some very interesting action, I thought. And what it amounts to is bad news and stocks acting well, good news and stocks acting poorly. Discovery Finance closed at 100, down 980 after reporting a beat, although they're suspending their buyback and doing a study on their student loan business. So there's some negativeness there. Tesla, in the other direction. I mentioned last night that we had smaller margins, that the company, in point of fact, was not even cash flow positive without their Bitcoin revenue, and yet the stock closed 815.21, up 72.71, 9.8%. Those liars and thieves at the airlines and cruise lines finally coming back to see some real nastiness. Of all of the sectors that I follow, airlines and cruise lines were absolutely the worst performer on the day. American Airlines, who told us how great things were, 14.11, down $1.10 or 7.25%. Carnival Cruise, which again is issuing another $1 billion worth of stock. This company will never turn a profit. It won't turn a profit this decade. $9.84, down $1.25, 11.3. And then after the close, we had Snap. Snap, which closed at 16.38, up 87 cents or 5.6% before the earnings came. After the earnings came with a miss, top and bottom, and negative commentary on guidance, traded from 16 and a half down to 11.80. That is a price that has not been seen since September a year ago, when the stock was moving from 965 to 83. Looks a lot different at $12.02, down 3.49 or 22%, and just scant $71 on 82, so roughly 90% down from the high, which really wasn't that long ago. September 24th of last year. So there you have it. I think we're in really strong positions. I'm going to get an update from Dennis tomorrow at the end of the week, so that I can show you what he's been doing with a couple of the newer accounts. Well, all of his accounts on a year-to-date basis, but we've gotten a couple of new ones in the last couple of weeks, and I really want to show you what's going on there also. Have a good evening. I'll be back in the morning.